All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're exploring one of the most mysterious and, honestly, influential spiritual traditions in Western history, Hermeticism. It's this incredible philosophy that has been secretly shaping everything from science to magic for literally centuries.
You know, if you've ever gotten into tarot or maybe explored esoteric spirituality, you've almost certainly bumped into this phrase, as above, so below. It's like a secret key that unlocks this entire universe of thought, and it's the central mystery we're going to try and unravel together.
Okay, so let's get into it. What is this phrase really trying to tell us? Is it some kind of metaphor, a scientific law, a spiritual command? To figure that out, we've got to go way back to the source.
Our investigation really kicks off with this one, single, super cryptic text that contains the original, full version of this now famous saying. And there it is. This comes from a short but incredibly profound text called the Emerald Tablet. It lays out the absolute core idea of Hermeticism, what they call the principle of correspondence. It's basically saying that the huge universe out there, the macrocosm, and your inner world, the microcosm, are just reflections of each other. If you can understand one, you can start to understand the other.
So who do we have to thank for this mind-bending piece of wisdom? Well, all these teachings are credited to this legendary, almost mythical figure. Meet Hermes Trismegistus. The name itself means Hermes the Thrice Great. And he's not just one person or one god. He's this brilliant syncretic fusion, a mashup really, of two super powerful deities from two different cultures that came together in ancient Egypt.
And what's so cool here is how perfectly these two figures complement each other. So you take Hermes, right, the Greek master of communication, the messenger god, and you combine him with the Egyptian god Thoth, who is the god of writing, magic, and deep wisdom. What do you get? You get Hermes Trismegistus, the ultimate ancient guide to secret knowledge.
Now, this wisdom wasn't just spoken and passed down. No, it was actually written down in a collection of texts that would go on this absolutely remarkable journey through history.
These writings are called the Hermetica, and it's not just one book. Think of it more like a library. On one side, you've got these philosophical texts that read like these divine conversations about God and the soul's path to enlightenment, but then you have the technical stuff, which are basically how-to guides for astrology, alchemy, even making magic talismans. It's all about applying those cosmic laws right here on Earth. And the most famous collection of all this is called the Corpus Hermeticum.
And the story of their survival is, well, it's a real thriller. I mean, they were written down in Roman Egypt, but then they pretty much vanished from Europe for the entire Middle Ages. They were just gone. Then, boom, in 1460, a manuscript pops up in Florence, Italy, right at the start of the Renaissance. This rediscovery was about to change everything.
So when this brilliant scholar, Marsilio Ficino, translated these texts into Latin, it was like a bomb went off in the intellectual world. Suddenly, you have philosophers, artists, scientists, everyone getting their hands on this ancient wisdom that they believed was older than Plato, older even than Christianity itself.
Okay, so now that we know where these ideas came from, let's get back to what they're actually about. What did these rediscovered texts really teach? So we come back to our central clue. Let's really break down what above and below mean in this whole worldview.
The above is the macrocosm. That's the entire universe, all the planets, the stars, everything. But it's not seen as just dead rock and gas. It's seen as a single, living, breathing, divine organism. Everything is connected. Everything is ordered by a divine mind.
So what about the below? Well, in this tradition, that's the microcosm. That's you. It's the individual person. Hermetic philosophy says that each and every one of us is like a tiny, miniature replica of the entire universe. And you know, this isn't just some ancient idea. Think about Carl Jung's psychology, where these universal archetypes, the above, are reflected in our individual psyche, the below. The big idea here is huge. To truly know yourself is to know the entire universe.
This leads to a really unique way of looking at God. So God isn't just some distant clockmaker who wound everything up and walked away. In Hermeticism, God is both transcendent, the creator of everything, and also immanent. God is the creation. The universe, in a very real sense, is the body of God.
So how did all this creation happen? Well, it all started with something called the prima materia, or first matter. You could think of it as this raw, primordial cosmic soup, this formless chaos that was just full of potential, waiting to be shaped into reality by God.
Wow, this incredible image, the magnum chaos or great chaos, really gives you a feel for it, right? It's not a bad or scary chaos. It's more of a fertile, divine, creative potential, the raw material of both spirit and matter where all life comes from.
You have to imagine being a thinker in the Renaissance and reading this stuff. They were electrified by this idea they called prisca theology, or ancient theology. They believed that Hermeticism wasn't just another philosophy. They thought it was the original, pure religion from which all others, like Christianity and Judaism, eventually grew. To them, Hermes Trismegistus was one of the original great prophets.
So, how did these ancient ideas make their way into our world? I mean, this way of thinking didn't just stay locked in old books. Its influence has rippled down through the centuries, a lot of the time within secret societies and esoteric groups.
And the legacy is just staggering. Alchemy, the art of turning lead into gold, was seen as a metaphor for purifying the soul. That's fundamentally Hermetic. It influenced major groups like the Rosicrucians and the Golden Dawn. And get this, even some of the fathers of the scientific revolution, guys like Isaac Newton, were secretly obsessed with Hermetic alchemy. For them, science and magic weren't enemies. They were two sides of the same coin, both trying to figure out the universe's divine blueprint.
And sometimes, that legacy is hidden right in plain sight. I mean, you've definitely seen the caduceus, the staff of the Greek god Hermes. Today, we see it as a symbol for medicine and commerce. But it's a direct line back to that fusion of wisdom we started with, just quietly hanging out in the modern world.
And that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? The core promise of Hermeticism is that the answers to the biggest cosmic mysteries aren't necessarily out there somewhere among the stars, but they're right here, inside of us. As above, so below isn't just an old saying, it's an invitation to go explore your own inner universe.